Hello, Ray Phoenix here. Welcome to Let's Play Ratchet Deadlocked Part 19. Even though we defeated Ace Hardlight, Gleeman Vox is still, he's still a busy little fish guy wherever he is, that's doing all he can to make sure Ratchet does not win his ultimate challenges. He's now throwing everything he can at Ratchet to make sure Ratchet gets killed, and that Ratchet doesn't, and then he avenges Ace Hardlight. Because Ace Hardlight was obviously his favorite character ever, and he's been killed off by Ratchet, and he really just doesn't want to admit that Ratchet is an infinitely better character than Ace Hardlight. And this is just more of what we'd expect, like more rounds, I guess going on through more and more rounds of mindless destruction, mindless battles. And I'm mostly just using some of my other weapons I have to get them upgraded, so I can have the most upgraded weapons in the game possible. And we'll be needing them for some of the challenges that are coming up. Things aren't getting much easier as we head off into the home stretch of this game. I was trying to think this might be the greatest Let's Play I've ever made, simply because it's me playing the game on a hard difficulty setting, and you're not intended to play the game on this hard difficulty setting. At least I don't think you're intended to play the game on this hard difficulty setting as is. I mean, you definitely are allowed to do it in the game, but most you'll probably play a specific difficulty, only plays in challenge mode, where you get all your weapons and upgrades and stuff that pertain, but this time I had none of that. So I'm pretty sure this is the hardest way to play for the game. You'll start to notice in these levels where the game becomes unforgiving. It takes like 48 million attempts just to get through the simple challenge, or what seems like a simplistic challenge. The game really just doesn't want to give up. Seaman Vox is doing all he can to make us lose. He really just doesn't want to, show his weak side, or have everyone know that he's really just a pathetic weakling that doesn't want to be defeated, doesn't take no for an answer. He wants Ratchet dead for some reason. He has some uncanny hatred for Ratchet. I don't think he ever really says what is true, like why he hates Ratchet. And Atreus hates Ratchet for the same reason he hates all these other heroes that he kidnaps and makes them play in his tournament, his deadly tournament. He's clearly just he's essentially like a terrorist or whatever. He just likes to cause terror and havoc all over different planets of the galaxy. And he also does it mostly for ratings. It's clearly a ratings game for him. Trying to make him a lot more money. But who makes more money? Him or me? I already made almost 1.5 million bolts already. I'm more than a bolt millionaire. He's probably a bolt billionaire then. I think it was established that bolts are the main currency of the Ratchet and Clank games. To mention that Captain Quark was fined so many bolts in the second game for his crimes. So I'm guessing they actually do seriously use bolts as the currency in this. He's not just something to give to us to use as currency. It actually is the real currency of these galaxies. Yeah, a whole galaxy using one little currency. And on Earth in our day and age, one continent using the same currency is too much to ask for. Everyone thought the euro would become like the greatest currency in Europe, but that doesn't always seem like the case. We just won 20,000 bolts during that simple challenge. It's not the worst prize we could have won. But this game could have given us more, and good God, this is the longest level in the entire game, at least as long as because of how many failed attempts I made. This one challenge took me 48 million attempts just to clear. You're slowly getting killed. You're completely being ambushed by an onslaught of so many enemies. It's another epic quagmire of enemies and blaster fire and all sorts. And I imagine this level is very hot as well too, or at least it looks like it's heating up. So your face is going to be sweating. My face is completely soaked with sweat, blood, sweat, and tears and everything from going through this. My controller is completely soaked. It's completely covered in thick, salty liquids that are coming off of my hands. And all I'm doing is just rotating around this level. This legit took like over an hour and a half. If you don't believe me, go watch the raw footage when I upload the raw footage. This took me well over an hour and a half just to do, which is why you notice that my rocket launcher is now fully upgraded. My health is now 65 now. I've got tons of health upgrades since then too. And my bolt count is a lot greater too than it was in the last few minutes ago, because I don't think you guys want to spend over an hour watching me make failed attempts at this battle challenge. This challenging battle, this epic battle, whatever you call it, this aggravating dead thing, is this ring of death we're in right now. It literally is a ring. It forms a ring. It's not like a metaphorical ring or a figurative ring. It's literally a ring around everything, a ring around the stadium, and we're getting killed in its massive mounds of heat and pain and suffering and torture. All we could do is just just played for it several times. I already got a lot of my weapons fully upgraded. I'm also at a point now too where I'm pretty much exclusively only using the rocket launcher as if it's the only weapon in the game. Fully upgraded rocket launchers had 3 rockets per 1 shot. You can easily kill off tons of enemies all in one little go, one little shot of it, and blast. They're all freaking dead right now, just like that. They're all dead. 1 shot, several kills per 1 shot. Yeah, screw you, Galaxian, where it's like 1 shot, 1 kill. Shoot me fire 1 shot here, that completely decimates a whole section of the stadium, the battle arena, the battle tournament. And now they're sending these things out here, these like laser things over here. I'm just jumping around. It's mindlessly. It's almost like when people play Donkey Kong Country. They just mindlessly jump and run over stuff. That's what I'm doing now. That's the key to winning this. Just jump over stuff and use the rocket launcher and blast at everything you see. Blast at stuff and jump over stuff. The game on quite a few occasions asked me in Japanese, do you want to play? Do you want this? You've lost so many times. Do you want to dumb down the difficulty, make it easier? I said, hell yeah! I don't want to do that. No way am I going to be doing that. I intend to play this entire game on the hardest difficulty there is, and I'm going to stand by my word, even if it means getting myself killed in the process, even if it means drowning in my own sweat, in my own, the thick liquids that are completely engulfed in my controller now. My controller is not white anymore. It's now gray. It's all gray and gritty and all. Almost looks like an original PlayStation controller that was gray, that was dark gray. I mean, I often think the later PS1 controller was white color. My mom disagrees and says it's gray. She also says the Sega Dreamcast is gray too, and I think that's white. What do I know? This is what I know anything about colors. I'm supposedly colorblind in real life anyways, so what difference would it really make to me? I mean, most people would probably say that the fat PlayStation was gray and the slim PS1 is white. Yes, I've heard people refer to it as white, but then again, what is white? I don't know. My skin's considered white sometimes, but it's definitely not actually white. And good riddance, I finally cleared the challenge and got 50,000 bolts. That's not worth it. That's barely worth it. I probably made way more than that many bolts just by attempting it so many frickin' times. Your prize is just 50,000 bolts. Congratulations! You won $50 for risking your life so many times and earning $10 billion in the process. Yeah, such a small reward for so much. I could buy the new Omni Wrench upgrade, but that's kind of useless. I don't even use the Omni Wrench that much, and I really want to save up for that weapon. I'm only 250,000 some odd bolts away from unlocking the next weapon in the game, and now we're off to the next battleground we unlocked, which I think it's the Ghost Space Station. It says it in Japanese, the Ghost Space Station. And look, it's another report from Vox News. Kanashi, I think that means sad in Japanese or something like that. You know how sad it is that Ace Hardlight, our beloved Ace Hardlight, is dead, and they're gonna pretend to cry like pallbearers at funerals do, and it's all because of that bastard Ratchet that killed him. Yeah, he's the one that definitely killed Ace Hardlight, and now we have to mourn the loss of Ace Hardlight in this tragedy. Look how these kids are celebrating, or however you put it, the loss of Ace Hardlight. Yeah, Ratchet's our man, he's the best, and now C-Man Vox has some words to speak of. He has an eulogy for him. Talking about, oh, Ace Hardlight, he was such a great fellow. We'll be saddened by his loss, and he will be missed. He was such a great man. The galaxy owes a lot to him. We can honor him by buying his toys, buying his stuff to honor his memory and make sure he doesn't die in vain, and that he will be remembered forever. And here's some locker room footage of Ratchet, because our security cameras love filming the locker rooms and seeing what kind of freaky stuff goes on in there. We don't have any laws about locker rooms in the Vox News station or the Vox station. I'm sure anything goes there. What happens there doesn't only stay there. The whole internet's probably gonna know about it too. They probably stream it on the internet. Maybe they'll put it on that new video sharing site that recently appeared out of nowhere called YouTube or something like that. And they'll post it there, and everyone in the world that knows about the website, no one knows about the website yet, is going to know about it. Ghost Station or something, a station, that's what that says, pretty much Ghost Space Station or something like that. Yeah, Ghost Shion or something like that, which means Ghost Space Station, I'm pretty sure that's what that says. These grind rails, it looks freaky. It almost looks like the cover of one of the Return of the Jedi covers, or has like a green texture. I think it's supposed to resemble Luke Skywalker's green lightsaber. Looks all ghostly green. Well, it's a ghost space station. I guess it makes sense. They're going to use a ghostly green aesthetic for this, a ghostly green, texture. And I think I think it filled up all of our weapons already, so I don't think we need to buy anything more. The only weapon to buy right now is that powerful one that I can't afford yet because I'm not as rich as Seaman Vox now. Now we're going to let this guy go. I'm just going to let these robots go and pray. There's no point in doing them yourself. You might as well just get your robot buddies to do it for you. Your robots are essentially just your putties that listen to every command. At least they're supposed to. That's when they're not being dumb and running into walls. These robots don't have much education. I'm pretty sure most American first graders have better education levels than they do. It's going to be grinding all of this and shooting at that guy, blasting this, collecting that, and jumping on these grind rails, these unnecessary jumps they put there just to test your... I don't even know that's supposed to be a test of anyways. Just seeing that you can jump in and making sure your X button is working and that you know how to jump when it tells you to jump. Just gonna let this guy do that puzzle there. And all the enemies look like ghosts now. Look like holographic ghosts made out of hard light. Maybe they're doing it to honor Ace Hardlight. Maybe the ghost of Ace Hardlight is here somewhere. Maybe they're doing this as a way to honor him. Yeah, go to the ghost realm. We'll meet anyone there. Everyone that dies ends up in the ghost realm. The ghost of dead robots. What if the ghost of Chairman Drek is here? He probably is here somewhere, maybe. We're gonna go blast down that guy, blast some of these other guys down, and collect that ammo, and even though I'm pretty much only exclusively using the rocket launcher for the most part, this time around, mostly using the rocket launcher. I'll use those Vipers guys with a weapon I set, because for some reason you have to set a different weapon for when you're grinding on the grind rails. And that's the weapon that I'm permanently stuck with. I think it's a perfect weapon to use when you're on the grind rail. Perfect way to just rapidly blast. Only the weapons are the gunshots are kind of weak. They're almost like BB gunshots sometimes. Especially later in the game when they're not well upgraded. Okay, against the heavily armored enemies we'll be seeing later in the game. There we go, shoot at that target guy. And I'm gonna have to jump a bit too, so it makes it hard. So you're a moving target, so it's harder for them to hit. And they do use like laser accuracy, laser pointers, but it's not very accurate, so that kind of defeats the purpose of laser accuracy. Just blasting these guys. I only have a sliver of health left. Might as well be 1. It says 7 health, but might as well just be 1 health left, because if I get dabbed or tapped in any way, shape, or form now, I'm pretty much gonna be dead. Just gonna blast that thing there. Gonna make a new grind rail. Grind rails are always the best for anything ever. Let's go shoot at this dropship guy. He's dead now. Jump on the grind rail. My horribly low health. Or is there any kind of achievement for winning the game of only, or winning a level of only 1% of health left? Or one. It's not really a percentage because it's not out of 100. It's only out of 60. Well, right now it's out of 65 and it increases all the time. It will be 100 once it's fully upgraded. In the regular mode, that is. I don't know if this mode will let me upgrade more. I don't think I get it up to 100% before the game is over. I think I just randomly spawned out of nowhere. It spawned right next to me, only like a millimeter away, only like a hair's thickness away from where I am. But I still got almost 1,000 bolts through that little thing there. That's pretty good. I'm almost at my goal of 2 million bolts. Or I will just get that much if I play through the game. Something tells me that I might not get all that just from playing through the game. I think I'm thinking about doing some grinding afterwards. Yeah, you definitely could play levels and scans if you completed them. You don't get as much bolts through that. You definitely could do that if you had to want to grind for some bolts. And that's the end of this challenge. Pretty good challenge. Like, it's definitely a breath of fresh air compared to that insane challenge, insane deadly ring challenge we just took on. Ray Phoenix, signing out.